What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. I'm excited today to talk about working out while you're pregnant. Okay, I have 3 children, so I am very, very thankful that I had Burn Boot Camp for me during all 3 of those pregnancies, and I was very fortunate to be able to work out during all 3 of those pregnancies. I had no complications, and so I just want to talk a little bit about why it's important to work out while you're pregnant and how it can help you, postpartum, and also share a little bit about my journey and just give you guys some encouragement today. If you are in that phase of life where you're having babies or you're thinking about getting pregnant, why you should not be intimidated with continuing your exercise routine. So I've got 6 tips here, 6 reasons why I feel that working out during pregnancy is key. So I'm going to run through those, and then I'm going to share a little bit about my personal journeys with all 3 of my children. So number 1, maintaining muscle tone. Okay, strength training exercises such as weightlifting or body weight, okay, where you're increasing in any sort of load, can help pregnant women maintain muscle tone, okay? Why is that important? Because it can aid in postpartum recovery and really getting back to, I don't want to say bounce back. I literally hate that. So I don't want you to feel like I'm saying this so you can get right back into shape. But in those postpartum phases, right, that 4th trimester, it is very important that you are still feeling healthy and you're feeling strong and you're able to maintain not only your health and wellness, but your baby's health and wellness. And so the more you can prepare yourself for that period of time, just the more set up for success you are going to be when it is time to move your body again, when you're cleared by your doctor and you're feeling good enough to move your body again, and you've still got that muscle tone and that muscle build from working out during pregnancy. Number 2, you're preparing the body for labor and delivery. This is going to be the hardest workout that you're ever going to go through, right? And it's funny because during my pregnancies, my OBGYN obviously knew that I was a trainer with Burn Boot Camp and owner. So he would always joke with me about burpees and planks and, this is going to be the biggest workout of my life. And he was right, And so I had 2 vaginal deliveries, 1 C-section delivery, obviously very different. But if you do have a vaginal birth, it's a big workout. And let's be honest, even my C-section was a very big workout because I labored for about 16 hours before I went into an emergency C-section. So you never know what's going to happen. You have to create that stamina. And then when you're pushing, like that leg strength and just that breathing and just that endurance, it feels like a very, very heavy and hard workout. And the more you can prepare yourself with, challenging your body to do a little bit more, right? Doing those hard things, because when it comes time to push, you can't really tap out, right? You got to get the job done. And so starting to prepare not only your body, but your mental state of just doing those hard things and getting through something hard, even when you feel like you want to quit. So I believe that is very important for a labor and delivery standpoint. Number 3 is reducing risk of complications. So regular exercise during pregnancy is going to reduce the risk of certain pregnancy-related complications, such as gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, preeclampsia. Of course, there's so many other things that can impact what I just said, but the more that is in your control and the more you can, live a healthy lifestyle, whether that's through exercise or nutrition, the better chance that you're giving yourself to control any of that if something does happen during pregnancy. So reducing the risk of complications, number 3. Number 4, improving the emotional well-being. Regular exercise during pregnancy can improve that emotional well-being and reduce the risk of postpartum depression. So going back to, some of my pregnancies, seeing your body change so much and honestly pretty quickly when you become pregnant, I think it's important to maintain, just a good, strong mindset of I'm still going to move my body. This isn't about necessarily looking good. It's about feeling good, and it's about preparing myself for that toughest workout, which is labor and delivery. And so that emotional state is very, very important during our pregnancy journey and postpartum journey. And so if you're somebody that really finds an emotional release or a stress release or just it's good for your mental health to work out and to have that me time, whether it's 20 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour and a half, getting that time to yourself to focus just on you. Okay, that can, regardless of what gains you're making, regardless of what the scale says, regardless of any of the PRs, all the things, just that time for yourself. And so maintaining that routine during your pregnancy, I think, is very, very important, because not only do you still need all that stuff, right? That emotional well-being, the stress relief, the mental health. You need that during pregnancy, but you also really need it post-pregnancy. So the more you can stay into that routine, so it's not harder once you have had the baby, and you've got so much more to juggle, but it's just still part of your routine. It's that non-negotiable, where whether it's a walk or it is a boot camp, you're giving yourself that time to focus just on you, to be the best version, so you can be all the other things to everybody else. Number 5, improving postpartum recovery. Regular exercise during pregnancy can improve postpartum by increasing blood flow and oxygen to the pelvic areas, which helps healing, okay? So thinking about all the things that happen during, not just pregnancy, of holding and carrying that child and all the weight that brings on, but then the actual delivery itself, and then healing of that. So increasing your blood flow, keeping your body in that healthy state, will only aid in that postpartum recovery. And then last but not least, number 6, regaining muscle and strength. Okay, so I've talked about this a little bit, of how you are just continuing that routine, continuing to hold on to as much muscle as you can. Guys, girls, it is going to happen. You are going to lose muscle, okay? During pregnancy, it's very hard to maintain those muscle gains, because you're not going to be lifting as heavy as your muscles really need you to continue to gain muscle and muscle strength. So it's very normal, very common to lose some of that muscle tone. Don't worry, it will come back. Okay, it's going to take time to come back, but it is okay. It is completely normal. But the more you can do on the front end, the more it's going to help you stay into that routine and have your muscles pick right back up where they left off, of building muscle back up, which can only improve your overall health and well-being. So I think it's important to note here that as I talk about these 6 things, like I said, I had a normal pregnancy all 3 times. I did not have any restrictions. I did not have any complications. I was very open and vocal with my doctor about what should I do, what can I do, what feels safe, what feels comfortable. And so I want to make sure I always share that when talking to women or pregnant women or somebody that's thinking about it, that you should always consult with your doctor, okay? With your doctor, with your trainer, just really getting in touch with yourself and making sure that you are doing things that you feel 100% comfortable with and that are safe for both you and for baby. So always want to share that when I talk about, working out during pregnancy. There's so many great benefits, but I also know the mental load that it can sometimes take when you find out you're pregnant and you are just very scared to do anything that could potentially harm the baby, harm the pregnancy, harm you. And so I just want to note that I see that, and I felt that through all 3 of my pregnancies. I've also miscarried, and so there's a lot of mental emotions that can go on during pregnancy. And so I just want to encourage you to do what feels good for you, and don't feel the pressure to do anything that doesn't feel good for you. And I find that you can do that through being open with your trainer, being open with your doctor, and just getting really in tune with your body to say what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and navigate through that. And so I'll finish off with just, a little bit about all 3 of my pregnancies, just to give any of you that, again, are going through this. In 2015, I had my daughter, Cameron. I worked out, actually was a head trainer, so I trained camps till about 37 weeks. So shout out to all of my members back then that stuck with me and, dealt with me, training them with a really, really pregnant belly. At that point, I couldn't even demonstrate all the different workouts that we did. So I had some amazing members that would step in and help me from a training perspective. And I maintained, a normal fitness routine. But with all of my pregnancies, I think it's important to note that during that first trimester, I was completely out of my routine. I was exhausted. I had nausea throughout the entire day. All I wanted to eat was carbs. And so I didn't necessarily maintain my normal routine. And I just want you guys I want to be honest with you and to say that it happens. And I know it happens to a lot of women, where that first part of I found out I was pregnant. First, I don't know what I can do. I don't feel like working out. I'm tired. All these things are changing in my body. And so I didn't really hit my stride again until the second trimester, and really just, listened to my body throughout and figured out when was a good time to stop or just tone down what I was doing. So I tried to stay active throughout the entire pregnancy, all the way up until the end. Lots of walks towards the end, lots of squatting, lots of glute activation and things like that to prepare myself for labor. But one thing that, I learned just, I think, growing up in the fitness industry and just working with so many women during my first pregnancy, I thought I still needed to be able to do pull-ups and double unders and, kind of push the envelope a little bit and do these like out of the box things. I felt I probably wasn't in the best mental space. I was worried that my training status would diminish because I was pregnant, and I wasn't able to do as much as I could. And so my first pregnancy, I probably did more damage to my pelvic floor than I'm happy to admit. But again, as I've learned and gone through it myself and learned through so many other women and just educated myself more on pelvic health and postpartum and pregnancy, it's not about the gains and the PRs during pregnancy. It is about maintaining, a routine and doing things that not only physically challenge you, but just keep your mental health stable. And it's just, don't put so much pressure on yourself to always do what you've done. Your body is officially going to change. I've never gone back to my pre-pregnancy body, okay? My hips have got larger, right? My core, I've had my core, 3 pregnancies, and one of those was a C-section. And so, obviously cut open and just healing from that. And I've never regained all of my strength in every area, in my body. Pull-ups are harder for me than they ever have been after that third pregnancy. And so, of course, I'm doing things to continue to try to regain that strength. But I just want to be honest that, once you do start having babies, that doesn't mean that you need to give up on challenging yourself in PRs, but during pregnancy is not the time to do it, in my opinion. So, like I said, this is a time for you to nourish your body, take care of your mental health, take care of baby, prepare yourself for labor and delivery, prepare yourself for that postpartum time frame. And then there will always become a time and place where you can get back into the gym and, hit up the heavier weights and the double unders and the pull-ups and the PRs and the gains and all of the things. So hopefully you are giving yourself grace during this journey. And I wish you all the best in your pregnancy if you are somebody that is going through this right now. So thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful day. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, to YouTube. Come follow me on Instagram, morgan.a.kline. And I will talk to you soon. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.